Hello, hello. We are a couple minutes from getting started and welcoming everybody. We'll give everybody a few minutes to hop on here. And our special guest will be showing up shortly. So glad you all are here. This is going to be a great day. I am so excited for today. While we wait, if you haven't had a chance to download the Soar audio app, I would encourage you to do so. We have created the playlist so that you can listen to this and other things, other webinars that you may have seen, and we have lots of other playlists on there. But the Coach Uplift Weekly is also on the Soar audio app. So if you haven't downloaded it, it's free. And we encourage all of you. This is kind of the future of learning, if you will, and listening. So please download the app and look for Coach Uplift Weekly, and we'll go ahead and we'll share this week's and all the Coach Uplift Weekly presentations. You'll be able to listen to them on your Alexa, your Google Assist, and in the next few months, you'll be able to say, Google, what did Shari say on Coach Uplift Weekly? And it'll just start to play them in 2-minute clips. And then you can unpack that one. So lots of good things coming. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a great lineup here. Our guest, Kary, he is hopping on here really soon. It looks like actually he might even be here. I think he might already be on.
Hey, I'm here.
There he is. Awesome.
I think you might have to tap me, give me co-host so I can start my video or something.
Here we
are.
Fabulous. We were just getting rocking and rolling anyway, Kary. So we have a good group on here, and I was just updating them on, we have a new app that's out for Soar, and we're encouraging everybody to download the free app because this webinar, you'll be able to listen to it over and over and over again. And what's really cool about the technology, and some of these people who are hopping on here today, it's their first time we're hearing this, is that in the next few months, just like right now, we can ask, if I say her name, she'll start to talk. We'll call her Alex. If we ask Alex to play our favorite song, it just starts playing the favorite song. Well, we're doing that for leadership training and coaches. And so I'll be able to say, hey, what did Kary Oberbrunner say on Coach Uplift Weekly? And it'll start to play this session. So yes, exciting time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And I just want to welcome everybody for taking their time to listen to Coach Uplift Weekly. As I said, not only is it live today, but we are on all the playlists. You'll be able to hear it on soar.com as well, and the Soar audio app. So, but why are we here today? So Coach Uplift Weekly, we share tips, tools, provide inspiration as coaches, and we also have a lot of people who are team leaders and they manage teams, give feedback to people. So it's really about inspiring and helping everyone just have tools so we can all help each other uplift humanity and just be better people. And I couldn't have thought of one other better person to have on here than Kary Oberbrunner for that mission. And because when I think about humanity, you're one of the top 5 people. I just got goosebumps when I think of Kary. So welcome, thank you for being here. I'll just do a short introduction and then I'll let you, tell everybody, but I met Kary, it's been 8 or 9 years ago now. And I was sitting next to him actually at a conference, and he had his head down. He had this vision and this dream to help coaches and help people get their message out to the world. And he has done it. It's just been amazing to watch his success. So today we're going to be talking about, I'll let him tell a little bit more about his background and what exactly he's done and accomplished. But today we're going to be talking about the Unhackable Impact Equation, which is actually from his book, Unhackable. So if you haven't got that, go get that. And we're going to be talking about how you can amplify your impact as a coach or as a team leader or somebody that is in leadership position. How can you amplify that impact? So it's around decision making and why we make decisions, how to make better decisions. So I hope you have a pen and paper because you're going to get some great content today. So without further ado, thank you for being here, Kary.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for having me. And I'll tell you what, if you are people watching us or just listening? Okay.
Oh no, they're watching and listening right now. Yes.
Fantastic. If you want, do you want to share your screen or do you want me to speak to the people?
Well, if you want to share your screen, if you've got something, that's fabulous. I know they'll appreciate it.
I may share my screen in a moment.
Awesome.
So let me see here if I can. I think you got to stop sharing yours first.
Okay, there we go.
Awesome. So first of all, folks, I'm very interactive. So even though we are recording this, I like to look at the chat box and know who I'm talking to and everything. So if you want to type in the chat where you're from, that would be fantastic. And first of all, Shari is amazing. Listen, she came into our coaching community and she started leading the way because she just is on fire and she's fearless. Okay, Shari. So I think that's really important. And by the way, I see Deborah from the Chicago suburbs. Fantastic. If anybody else wants to jump in, that's cool too. So folks, here's what I'm going to teach you today. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by the way. I grew up in Waukesha, New Berlin, West Allis, Brookfield, you name it. So I know Wisconsin, Holly. Great to see you. I do live in Columbus now, but part of this is just me to say hi to you. We have Switzerland in the house. We have Mexico, California, Rhode Island. So great job. Here's what I know, folks. 2020, you got hacked. Whoa. Now you might be saying, Kary, what are you talking about? Are you talking about my bank account? Are you talking about my phone, my computer? No, I'm talking about something much bigger than that, much more costly than that. Your brain's getting hacked. And you might say, what in the world are you talking about? Listen, folks, I believe in this message today. I believe that I'm speaking to millions of people, and here's why. I believe that you have a mission. I believe that if you understand three things, who you are, why you're here, and where you're going, you'll be a soul on fire. Your identity, your purpose, and direction. And for years, I've been saying that. In fact, I'm going to show you a little image here because I do believe that wholeheartedly. My whole vision and mission in life is to ignite souls. And people said, well, how do you become a soul on fire? Purpose, identity, direction. Identity, purpose, and direction. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? But here's the problem. Even though I started igniting souls all over the world, these souls on fire started getting hacked. And you might say, what do you mean hacked, Kary? Here's what the word hacked means. It means when someone or something gains unauthorized access to a system or a computer. Now think about that for a moment. Is your body made up of systems? I'm going to ask the crowd. I'm going to make this fun. Tell me one of the systems in your body if you know it. And Shari, you can weigh into if you want. But what's one system, folks, that we have? Oh, there you go. Holly, look at her. Len. Immune system, cardio system, you're on it, folks. Pulmonary, respiratory, the whole thing. Your body's made up of systems, and from all the research, your brain is like a supercomputer. So think about that. We used to think devices got hacked, but I'm here today to say that you are getting hacked. I am getting hacked. We woke up in 2020 thinking this is the year. This is the year of 2020 vision. Pastors were preaching on it. Business people were speaking on it. But what happened? All of a sudden, COVID. And then we had politics and we had racism and then we had economy. And what happened is that most people in life got distracted. I'll be the first to say, like, come on now. Tell me if you got hacked in 2020. Tell me if you thought you were going this direction and then somewhere along the way, you got sidelined and sabotaged. Go ahead, type in hacked if that was you, because I like honesty. I like confessions here, and it feels good. So Holly says, definitely. Shari says, I got hacked. That's why I searched you out. Yes. So here's the cool news. The cool news, and this is, I love learning. It's going to be fun today. How many of you said the word abracadabra as a kid? Go ahead, type in yes if you did. If you ever said abracadabra as a young person, which I don't know any kid who hasn't. You said this when you wanted something magical to happen. So maybe it was, you know, you wanted the birthday party to not rain because it was outside. So you said, abracadabra, rain stop. Here's the point. We have been saying from a young childlike age, abracadabra. Most of us don't even know what that means. In fact, besides Shari, take a guess. If anybody knows what it means, I'm gonna mail them a free book, just like that, okay? So take a guess. What do you think the word abracadabra means? Some of you might be able to Google it fast enough. But here's what I'm going to say. I don't see anybody doing it. And I didn't know it either. I create as I speak. Now think about that. I'm speaking to coaches here. These are coaches, a lot of them.
Yes, yeah, the majority are coaches or team leaders.
Leaders of teams and coaches. Folks, you create worlds with your words. In fact, let me say that again. Your words create worlds. You as a coach, you as a leader, your followers, your coach, your coachees, you know, your clients, they're looking to you. They're so discouraged, so depressed. They're bumping up against their self-limiting belief that when you speak words of life to them, you open up new worlds to them. And so here's the point, folks. We were created to create. In my favorite book, it says, God said, let there be light. And then he went and played Netflix. No, it doesn't say it. God said, let there be light. And then he started binge watching or playing video games. No, it says, God said, let there be light, and there was light. Literally, the word abracadabra. I create as I speak. I want to suggest to you today that you were created to create. You are the only species on planet Earth. Last time I checked, no squirrels are saying, you know, when I grow up, I want to be a fireman, right? I mean, they can't imagine beyond what their current reality is. And when we get so hacked that we think that can't happen for me, that only works for Shari, I can't overcome my self-limiting beliefs, we literally experience hacking. But here's the cool news. Abracadabra is a powerful word. It's made up of 3 Hebrew words. And again, I love words. I'm a writer, I'm an author. I help people publish books and turn their books into 18 streams of income. I love to help people turn their ideas into worlds. But here's the point. Abracadabra comes from Abba, which is father in Hebrew. It literally is made up of Father, Son, Spirit. So whether you're a person of faith or not, that's pretty powerful. That the first word God said, many people believe, was abracadabra, Father, Son, Spirit, and then light happened. So here's my point. The word desire means to give birth to. What right now in your life, and I want you to jot this down because you're the star of the show today, not me. I want you to write down what is birthing inside you in 2021. What dream is taking form, is taking shape? And I don't want you to deny it. I want you to invite it. Because everything you see has been created twice. I have this water bottle here. It's got the word unhackable in it. I'm a fan, okay? But it was created twice. It was created once in the mind of Polar Bottle, and then second time in physical space. Sunglasses, iPhones. I mean, Steve Jobs had to create this first in his mind, and then it took shape. So the challenge to you today is, don't stop at the first creation. You've already done the work once. Why not do it again? And here's why we don't do it. Because we get hacked. The subtitle is called Close the Gap Between Dreaming and Doing. See, unhackable people dream and do. They ideate and implement. They close the gap. But most people, most of your coaching clients, most of your followers, they dream and then they stop. They dream and say two lies. They say, I am not enough, or I don't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. They're saying identity or resources are limited. So I am not enough, or I don't have enough, says that I am lacking in my identity, or I'm lacking in my resources. Last time I checked, if you're connected to your creator, your core, and your community, you're fully resourced. You know who you are and whose you are, and therefore you are unstoppable, you're unhackable. So I'm going to take a deep breath here, because I can just share all day, but I want to hear some thoughts from people in the chat. Shari, I'm going to just ask you before we get into the unhackable impact equation.
Yes.
Where are you tracking? What are you thinking so far?
Well, you know, it's interesting because from what I hear from the people that listen and are engaged in Soar, is most of them, they're here because they have this mission in the world. They're coaches because that's what they want to do. They want to help people. And yet we can get stagnant too. So I'm always looking for ways to help our coaches and our team leaders to find new ways to think and open up. It's easy to say, oh, I already know all of this, or on the other side, like I don't have enough and I don't have enough resources. It's also already easy to say, oh, I already have it all. Oh, I've learned that. And I think we can get trapped on the other side as well. And that's a hacking. So yes. We always want to encourage everybody to continue to grow and to continue to learn, because if you go to either extreme, you're going to get hacked, and you're not going to be able to help as many people as you want to help. Absolutely. So that's where my mind is going right now with some of the groups and some of the people that message me during the week is, you know, they need more, they want more, and they need to be filled up. Like I know you were saying, come filled up, right? Yep. And come filled up. And so I hope everybody's here filled up, wanting to go pour into more people. And so that's where I'm going. I'm kind of rambling.
I love it. No, that's perfect. So you just helped me clarify something. So we're going to do a little exercise, folks. So here's what I want to challenge you to do. Whether you're listening to this now live or recorded, see if you can get some Post-it notes. And if you can't, just get a piece of paper and, you know, grab a scissors if you can and just cut them up into a little piece of paper. I'm going to do an exercise. And Shari, if you got Post-it notes, that's fine. I do. Oh, look at you. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I have
Okay. I'm going to grab some too.
I'm a lister, so I list all kinds of things. Post-it notes.
Fantastic. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this little exercise here where, folks, here's what I know. Your brain is not meant to be a storage device. And some of you say amen, because some of us are getting older. I don't have any hair. And we can't remember everything anymore. But here's the point. That's not what your brain should be used for. And here's why. Human knowledge used to double once every 1,000 years. So think about that. Back in 0 AD, it took 1,500 years to double for knowledge. That's 30 generations. The next time it took 250 years. The next time 125. I mean, it keeps going. Today, we're at human knowledge doubling every 12 hours. So here's the point. You can't keep up. You can't keep up, so stop trying to keep up. Stop trying to watch everything. Stop trying to consume. Because we're going to talk that you are either one of three people. You're either a critic, you're a consumer, or you're a creator. And I want you to be a creator, because what I know is that that's when you are most alive and most fulfilled. So here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. You have what's called right now open loops in your brain, or you have open windows. I'm fine with whatever analogy you want to use. Open browsers, open tabs, open loops, open drawers. I don't care, whatever you want to call it. But I call it open tabs. And just like on a computer, if I have a tab, and a program, what happens to the RAM? Does anyone want to jump in? What happens to the speed of the computer? Right? It slows down. Go ahead and type in, I'm with you. It slows down. It slows down. In other words, the RAM slows down, your productivity slows down. So here's what I know is true, folks. Yeah, Holly, look at her. Great job. Here's what I know. If I'm going to give you a minute to write down some open loops, some open tabs, some open programs, I want you to write down everything. I'm talking about got to go to the dry cleaner, got to call my sister, got to get the birthday invitation out. Like, I just want you, while I'm talking, because I don't want there to be dead air, while I'm talking, just literally start writing down everything. Like, got to do a blog post, got to do a podcast, got to follow up with that client. Like, just map it out. Just who cares about prioritizing? Who cares about spelling? Just write it out. And this is the exercise I do. Okay. Hey, look at you. And here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Check this out. I forgot to say this. If you got a Post-it note, write one task per note. Okay. So Shari might just like bust through that whole pack, but that's okay. And I talk about this in the book, and I'm going to show you this here in a moment. Shari, you can see this, but people literally, this is the exercise I do with them, and they write one task per note, and they just start pouring it all over their table. Okay, just boom, 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 boom.
Big or small?
Big or small. I mean, I'm talking like,
this is a great technique to use with coaching, right?
Oh man, oh my gosh, they could do this. They could, this would be like a cleansing of the mind exercise that anybody.
Yeah, I'm already thinking of a couple of people that we're gonna have a little chat and say, here, let's try this. Let's try this.
Yes. So clients come in and they say, I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm running on fumes. I feel like I'm on empty. They use all these energy terms that describe the RAM, the pressure. So yeah, write them down, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so now you got them all laid out. And again, just imagine we did this for 10 minutes. And then what I do is I usually put on music without lyrics. And if you go to YouTube, it's fine, but you want a YouTube Pro where there's no commercials. You basically want no interruptions because you want to get into flow. And anytime there's an ad or a lyric, you basically get interrupted with your brain. So just imagine you're doing this, doing this, doing this. Okay, now you have all these open tabs, which first of all, it's like, first of all, you're like, oh my gosh, like, that's all in my head. And here's the truth. It's there all the time. And I mean, we probably only have 10%. And what happens is the weight of these open loops causes stress. It causes cortisol, which prevents you from feeling in flow. It actually prevents you from feeling happy, because all the research shows that the happiest people in life are those who see progress toward their goal. So think about Walt Disney's quote, the happiest place on earth, and then he changed it, the place where dreams come true. Which is it? Both. The happiest place on earth is the place where dreams come true. See, that's pretty deep if you really think about it. The happiest place on earth is the place where dreams come true. Why? Because we're created to see progress. So what's the opposite? What are the most unhappy people in the world? The people who don't see progress toward their goals. This is where you as coaches, you get paid to literally help people progress toward their goal. So what you do is you first have them write down all the things that are in their conscious brain, open loops, boom, 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 boom. Now, this is what's really powerful. You're going to take those and you are literally going to put at the very top, do, delegate, dump, and delay. Okay. So you're going to take on a big, I don't care, big piece of paper, whatever. This is what I do, Shari. I'm going to stand up and be weird here, but
that's all right.
I get on a wall and I'll put do, and I'll tape that thing to the wall. And then on this wall, I'll put dump. And then I'll put delay. And then I'll put delegate. And then what I do is I take those Post-it notes, and now all of a sudden I look at one by one and I say, do I want to do this? Do I want to dump it? Do I want to delegate it? Or do I want to delay it? Okay. And what's really powerful, again, this is right in the Unhackable book. Here we get into Shari's thing, the unhackable impact equation. Now, I've never met Jack Canfield. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I'm going to disagree with him for a moment, okay? Because he uses the word delay. Unhackable people don't use that word. Why? Because do it means you do it. Delegate it means somebody else does it. Dump it means nobody does it. And delay is an open loop. Delay says we're just gonna keep it in our brain for another day. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna chew up your creativity, your abracadabra, your genius zone, your unhackability. So what instead you do is just like that image, you put them in 4 columns and you only allow delay one time with all your lists. One time, one note, and here's what you do. If you have to, hopefully you don't have to do any delay, but if you have to, you give yourself a 72-hour grind session where you say, I'm going, instead of now allowing my mind to always grind on this, I'm going to give myself 72 hours. And I'm going to pray and fast and do whatever I do, walk in nature. And this was a big deal. I think you know 𝗔𝗺𝗽𝗆𝗆 from our tribe, but she came up with write a book. And in my little coaching exercise with her, she wasn't ready to just put that as do, dump, or delegate. Delegate would mean I hire a ghostwriter. You can do that.
Yeah.
Right? Dump
but
means
you only coach people to, they're only allowed one delay.
One delay.
One delay for 72 hours.
And you got to put a timer on that because otherwise they'll delay forever. So, so ideally,
this is powerful. I hope you guys are all getting this. He is giving you like a great coaching technique. This is awesome.
This could be your whole strategy.
Yeah.
As a, you know, Shari's an unhackable coach. And I mean, you could use this and this could be your whole coaching session for the year to draw these out. But hopefully you don't have any. Hopefully it's just do, dump, or delegate.
Okay.
But if it is really, if you just sense with the client, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know. You know, 𝗔𝗺𝗽𝗆𝗆 already spent $5,000 to try to do the book. Should she kill it right there? And here's like page 153. There's her literal email that says, because I allowed her to delay one thing. She says, thank you for an amazing coaching session. So there you go. I did this as a coach. I'm letting you know that the book is a closed window. So she allowed her delay. She said, but I'm also opening this other window. So this is what you do. The word decide, this is powerful, folks. The word, she made a decision. Decide means the suffix to kill. Or cut off. Think about this. Suicide, pesticide, insecticide, homicide. The term literally means to cut or kill. What does a gardener do to a tree that's unhealthy? What does he do to the branches? He cuts them. Because here's what we know. A tree has limited life force called sap. And if that sap is unhealthy, if our brains are unhealthy, we're leaking our power into open windows. Oh, maybe I'll do that. You know, I should call the landscaper. You know, I really haven't done that follow-up yet. Leak, 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 leak. Hack, 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 hack. What happens is when you decide to do, dump, or delegate, you literally get your life back.
Mm.
You literally have decided that I'm going to close the loop, and now you show up filled up.
Mm.
Before you were showing up a little bit here, a little bit here, leaking your power here, and now all of a sudden you show up filled up. And here's what I know, Shari. Most coaches struggle getting clients.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we hear that all the time.
And
I'm like, listen, we
yes.
can give you a place to profile yourself, but it's really up to you to get leads, right?
Yes.
It's your energy, your mindset behind what you put out into the world.
I totally agree. And folks, I want you to comment. Tell me if you want me to tell you how to get clients anywhere, anytime, any place. Go ahead, type in the chat. Go ahead, type in the chat, because I'm going to teach you a powerful principle that's lens says yes. If it's only one out of 19, I'm not going to. Oh, Howard. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we go. So what I do, Shari, is like you, I'm fearless. Now, I wasn't born fearless. Oh my gosh. If you know my story, which you can Google me, I used to struggle with depression. I used to struggle with stuttering. I've even been on the 700 Club talking about my past addiction to self-injury. So you talk about someone who didn't see his worth. Let me tell you what, folks, I didn't see my worth so much I used to self-injure. Like, I get it. Okay, I had no self-belief. But here's what I started doing, Shari. I started to do like the exercise like this: do, dump, delegate. And what happened was, as I began to reclaim my life back, my power back, I might have started out here with energy, passion, confidence. But as I closed those loops, what happens is I began to show up filled up. And here's how it looks. If I'm a coaching client, or if I'm a coach and I meet Shari, I've literally picked up clients at the grocery store, at the park, at an airplane. Like, I'm telling you, I can get a coaching client anyway. Here's why. When you show up filled up, you have nothing you need from the other person.
Yeah.
You show up so present, it's almost superhuman. So if I'm sitting next to Shari and I've closed all my loops and all my power is regained and I'm not leaking my power here, and I'm unhackable. What happens then is I sit next to Shari. This is a true story. You know 𝗤𝗺𝗃𝗍. So this actually happened. I'm on an airplane. 𝗤𝗺𝗃𝗍's next to me. We'll pretend Shari's 𝗤𝗺𝗃. And Shari, you know, basically says to me, how you doing? Where are you from? And, you know, I didn't get it at first. I'm sitting on that airplane and I say, oh, I'm doing great, you know, and then I go back to my computer and I could tell 𝗤𝗺𝗃 there was something there. So here's what I did. I just shut down my laptop and so I became present. I said, I'm going to show up filled up, and you got to make that mental decision. And I shut my laptop and I said, you asked me where I'm from. Where are you from? And she said, oh, I'm just coming from a seminar where it's for educators. Fantastic. Were you a speaker? In other words, folks, what I began to do is I began to draw out questions. Coaches, you know, this is so powerful. You don't need to sell them on anything. You ask questions. Here's what you do. Instead of telling them about coaching, you actually coach them.
Yes.
Did you catch that, folks? So many of us think, I got to tell them I'm a coach. I got to sell them I'm a coach. Most people have never, ever heard of a coach. I should say, felt a coach. You know, they hear a coach. Most people have never been coached. So what does the Jimmy Dean sausage strategy do at Sam's Club or Costco? How do they get you to buy the Jimmy Dean sausage? They give you a sample. They say, Hey, would you like a free sample? Here's what you do. You let people sample your coaching.
Yes.
Okay. So you're sitting next to the person and you coach them. And they might look at you at first like, really? But you're showed up, filled up. You're not saying, what's the person thinking of me? How am I coming across? Am I dressed right? Am I using the right words? All of those words are saying, this person needs to fill something inside me.
Mm-hmm.
But when you show up unhackable, you show up filled up, it doesn't matter if you're dressed right. It doesn't matter what words you're using. If you've ever seen Inception, has anybody seen the movie Inception?
Yeah.
This is a great illustration where you'll never forget, hopefully. The only time the dream broke down is when they became self-aware that they were in a dream. Remember that? Mm-hmm. If you go on YouTube and type in Inception cafe scene, he's sitting there with his colleague, and they're talking about dreams. And Leonardo says, we never remember how we get in the dream. And she thinks. And he said, how did we get here? And she's like, well, we just came. And he's like, and she's like, we're in a dream. And then she starts looking around and the whole dream explodes. Mm-hmm. That happens in your coaching sales pitch when you start becoming self-aware and saying, how am I coming across? What are they thinking of me? Am I using the right words? What should I say next? No. You shut all that, because here's what, you can't get into flow when you are a critic of yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay? So the whole book is broken into idea, focus, and flow. Mm-hmm. You cannot be in flow when your prefrontal cortex is judging you. Mm-hmm. Think about this. This is why athletes can come up with such great achievements.
You know what, Kary?
Yeah,
something just came to mind. My very first client, very first one. I never even made this connection until just now.
Let's hear it.
It was 2011. I went to my first women's conference in New York City by myself. I was still had my full-time job, but I was breaking out.
Yes.
And I went to this, but I was filled up. I knew I had it. I got my certification. I knew this is what I wanted to do the rest of my life. This woman walked up to me and she goes, I want what you have.
Oh my gosh.
And you have to understand too, I was feeling like I wasn't in the best healthy shape at the time. So I had some issues there. She goes, I don't know what it is, but I want what you have. She goes, what do you do? And I said, it's so funny you should ask. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? And then it was covered, right? I just turned it around. I didn't need her. I wanted clients, obviously. And then we exchanged cards. She ended up being my very first client. But I showed up, filled up, not needing anything. And
that's so true.
Oh,
that's
it
so
just
true.
I was ahead of my time.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Folks, go ahead and type in I got it, if that makes sense. So Will, Dennis, Holly, Lynn, go ahead and type in. But that is so true. When we feel, you know this, when you feel someone selling you, they're leading you to a place where they want something.
Yeah.
Here's what I did with 𝗔𝗺𝗽𝗆𝗆. I just kept coaching her. And she said, you know what? I really want to write a book. Now, in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a publisher. Like, so instead of being like, well, I can help you, I'm a publisher. and here's what I said to her. You ready for this? I looked at my watch and I said, 𝗔𝗺𝗽𝗆𝗆, we got 90 minutes left till this flight lands. You just shared that you've been trying to write a book for 5 years. I'll tell you what, I believe that in 90 minutes, we can come up with your title, your subtitle, we can come up with your unique selling proposition, and your table of contents in 90 minutes. Would that help you? And she's like, are you serious? Like, you can do that? And I said, and I knew she was a talker. So here's what I said. One condition. If you start going off topic, do I have permission? Because this is what you need to do as a coach. Do I have your permission to interrupt so that we can stay on task? And she says, absolutely. Then I opened up my laptop And I just started asking questions. And we literally came up with her book. Now, here's the end of the story. The plane lands. I shut my laptop and she says, do you have an author program? Like, in other words, I didn't have to say, hey, when we land, do you want to be, you know, I just shut it. And here's what, when you show up filled up, you're the one who pulls back a little bit. Mm-hmm. You're the one who says, oh, that was great. Well, you have a good life. Mm-hmm. And they're like, here's what, they don't want to break rapport. Mm-hmm. You just had a magical moment with that person, which, by the way, is the word for abracadabra, right? Magical, I create as I speak. You're so connected that when it's time to go, just like the lady gave Shari her business card, mm-hmm. she's coming with you. Mm-hmm. So she said, well, do you have a program? And here's what I encourage everyone to do, a super practical tool. You can do this on your smartphone. You have a welcome video, and it can be unlisted on YouTube. I don't care where it is, but Shari could literally say, hi, my name is Shari, and I just want to thank you for watching this video. You're watching this video because we've met and you've expressed interest in me becoming your coach. Now, I just want to tell you, I'm absolutely thrilled about this, but I want to just explain a couple things. Number one, I can't coach people who are uncoachable. So I'm going to give you a few questions for you to answer right now to see if you qualify for me to coach you. Because listen, I don't want to waste your time and you don't want to waste my time. Boom, 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 boom. Now, why is that powerful?
Oh, that's so powerful. I was like, I'm doing this afternoon.
and here's why it's powerful. All of a sudden, she thinks you're a rock star. She thinks if Shari made a video about how she coaches certain people, she's got to be getting that question all the time. She's in demand. Like if she made a video, you know, and especially if she put it at like meetwithshari.com or something crazy, like you don't even have to, but it could be your website slash whatever, slash video, slash client, slash discovery call, whatever.
Curious.
But now all of a sudden, yeah, curious. Now she goes there and she's like, I hope I qualify. You see, now you went from, instead of saying, will you be my client? Empty, empty, empty. Now you show up filled up and said, here's the type of client that I work with. Mm-hmm. Is that you? And now the person has to do a deep reflection. And now they're like, by the way, you don't need to even give them a complimentary coaching session. You just did. So now at the end of the video, you say, complete the application and we'll talk about a coaching package. Now she's like, I hope she picks me. I hope she picks me. Oh my gosh. She fills it out and you say, hey, Lisa, you know, I haven't stopped thinking about our chat on the airplane, man. And then because you were present, you can draw up facts and say, you know, you shared about your 15-year-old son and how you don't have a perfect relationship with him. And I heard you, you know, is that what you would like to cover on the coaching? You know, like, so now she's like, oh my gosh, this person remembers me, you know, and now you say, to work with me, it's a 6-month process and it's a package deal and, you know, it's going to cost this and here's the terms. And, you know, I only have 2 openings at this time. So let me know if you'd like to fill out a contract.
What do you guys think? Was this good? Did you get something? Yes. I just got like 4 techniques. And I know Kary, and Kary is somebody I have coached with and I follow. So, and we didn't even really do you justice either. You guys need to go Google Kary. He's did the largest online book signing with Barnes & Noble a couple of years ago. He's helped 150,000 coaches. So we're doing the introduction afterwards. We did coaching first, and now, but you guys still look him up, please, and look up Unhackable. If you're, I mean, you want to be filled up, Kary's got it. He's got a great tribe. He's got, I admire him so much. But what questions do you guys have questions or comments? Thank you.
Ask any
We'll send
question.
the chat to him. Yeah, if you have a question, we understand, we're right at time. We like to leave these a little less than an hour. Do you have a comment? Was this helpful? What was it? Did you learn something new that you can use with your clients?
Yeah, I'd love for people to type in their learn. And as they're doing that, Shari, I'll say one last thing. I didn't start out this way. Okay. So like I have no notes today, but I'm confident, but I wasn't always. When I met you all those years ago, I was a pastor and I was in my day job and I knew like, oh my gosh, I really want a client. I know I'm not supposed to be a pastor the rest of my life, but how do I do that? And Shari, I walked into my first potential coaching client with binders up to here, so nervous, shaking, in a suit that didn't even fit. And here's what I felt. I felt like I got to have every tool and every resource in case they asked me any questions. And I had Post-it notes. And you know what? I broadcasted empty.
Yeah.
I broadcasted, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. I'm nervous. My binders are going to save me. And I didn't get the client. And then all of a sudden, my coach, which I think it's very important to have a coach. I'm so glad Shari might be some of your coaches. But that coach said, what are you doing, Kary? What are you doing? And just like the Johnny Cash film, Walk the Line, where Johnny tries to sing a song that wasn't his. And Jimmy Davis says, Sam Phillips says, I don't believe you. And Johnny's like, what? You tell me I don't believe in God? He says, no, I don't believe in you. He says, tell me something that's real. Sing something that's real. And Johnny says, I got a song against the Air Force. Is that okay? And he's like, sing it. And then he sings it and he gets the record deal. Here's my point, Holly and Shari and Dennis. Don't sing Kary's song. Don't sing Shari's song. God put in you this amazing, authentic message. And when you share that, that's what's going to sell people. Because it's real and they'll feel it. Just like the lady came up to Shari and said, what do you have? I want it. I don't even know what you have. But folks, I want to encourage you, tap into that and become unhackable. And it was my honor to be here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Kary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Powerful message. I love this. Be true to you. Thank you. Yes. Well, and again, guys, download the Soar audio app. This will be on there so they can go listen to it. It's on the Coach Uplift weekly free playlist. And just look, please, if you get his book, let me know you did, because I have it and I have notes. I have Post-it notes all over it. So
Shari's a great coach. I love her to death. And folks, it was an honor to be with you. And if you need anything, anytime, just reach out to Shari or me. Happy to help.
Thank you, Kary, so much. Bye, everybody, and see you next Thursday. Coach Uplift Weekly. Bye, guys.
Take care. We'll see ya.